Good morning. It's me. Jane Matthew is actually the school. I'm currently at a elementary school, but I was in academic library for like over 25 years before I went to, I'm at a K-6, which will be a 1-6 this year. And so what I'm presenting is mostly like, it's based on K-6, but I do have experience in academic library for some years, and some of the things that we did to make sure students felt included. And so actually, as we were saying, I have a PowerPoint, and I guess I need to share my screen. And again, like I say, talking about building bridges and empowering libraries to foster belonging and inclusivity. And these are our objectives for today: to understand the role that libraries play in fostering belonging, learn exclusive space designs and services strategies, explore real-life examples and best practice, and develop actionable ideas to take to your campus. Uh, for the icebreaker, at this time, I just want to ask everybody, like the ones, to share a couple of like their experience, or, like maybe what type of library they're in, and their experience, one experience of a sense of belonging that they have done.
I have just allowed y'all to unmute yourselves if you would like
Oh, okay,
to.
sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. Um, so I've just allowed y'all to do that if you would like to speak using the microphone, or you can type in the chat.
And let me see, I can't see the chat.
I'm gonna brag on Andrea and Betsy from San Diego State, and she's done a great job about making sure that anybody and everybody that comes into the library, it's treated with reading, and I think it makes a big difference. It's a small thing, but everybody that comes in, whether they're students, faculty, staff, community, total stranger got lost off of the highway, they would feel welcome.
Okay.
We have some other comments coming through the chat.
Yes, I'm reading those and they're
Perfect.
coming, and I see those are interesting, and especially like where you said the open access university, and we including the pronouns in their transaction and then reading challenges, summer reading challenges, and there's a community college. That's great because that's a good idea. Because like I said, I'm elementary and we do reading challenges throughout the year and over the summer for students, and we sometimes have summer reading programs at the public library. So, okay, let's see. Okay, I see the academic library where they're open with their students. And I kind of talked about, like getting to know your students and, okay, yes, diversity, equity, inclusion. And I kind of mentioned, and we'll talk about like ALA. Okay, I see somebody else, they do their pronouns. Internet profiles, that's great. And digital accessibility team. Okay. Well, on the digital accessibility team, can you tell me what something that you do that team actually do? You can put it in the chat. That'll be fine. Okay. I like the one-on-one bingo during first gen week. That's really good there. academic library, safe space, sticker on my door as well. Okay, safe place. Oh, I like to host a town and ground Spanish language book club. That's a good idea. Right. We want to create safe space for our students. Okay. Okay, and I like the LibGuide idea. We had used LibGuides. Uh, I say we because like the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff that I worked there for like over 20 years, I'm actually faculty emeritus there, so I'm still connected to the university. This all sound great. I like those ideas. Those are good things. Like that we're communicating things that we're doing. It seems like a lot of us we're doing things. So, and I see most of you are academic or college, community college. So, so hopefully you can get some out of this. But what I'm doing can transcribe to any university. We're about making that we can make adaptation. We easily know how to do that. Safe space sticker windows in office. Okay. 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 Thank you all for sharing. I appreciate that very much. There were some good ideas and there were some good things to see that some of the things that you all are doing within within your schools, university, campus. Because I know most of the time when we think of campus, most of the time when we think about college campus, university campus, but also K6, uh, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 12. We also consider those campus as well. It just we got early the beginning, and then we got our secondary campuses. So I'm sorry. Um, we're not doing AI today. Okay. Why do we a sense of belonging matter? It supports mental and emotional. It enhances learning and growing. Belonging foster includes inclusion, activity. I can't even pronounce my words today. Strengthening communities. Libraries are an ideal place for cultivating belonging. It's a place that we like public institution. We offer different diverse collections, and that's important. Our collections are very important because like even coming on an elementary campus though, we're kind of limited to some of the things that we can actually have on the actual campus. So we experience censorship at the elementary level when it comes to collection. But just because we're not able to talk about it or it's not mentioned doesn't mean that it doesn't happen and it's not important. Okay, and we create welcoming spaces, place for listening, for community voices, especially like public school, also in university, because like we're part of the campus. In my experience at the university, the library, we was part of the accreditation team. When the accreditation team came, the library had a part. They visited, every accreditation team visited the library because they wanted to know what resources we had to support their programs. And so that was one thing that we did. And this was that we design programs that reflect user identities and needs. So, and I know we do like nursing boot camp. So we try to serve all our students, all our departments. We have what they call library liaisons for looking for a different term for that. But you have somebody that's assigned to each school, and they're responsible for making sure they reach out to those teachers and students and doing the information literacy, or it could be we go to the classroom, or they come to the library. We often do library tours, not only for our current students, but with recruitment, they bring students over for tours as well of the library. And a lot of times students, once they see some of the things in the library, they're excited about coming to the school because of some of the things that the library have, or we have friendly staff that's there to help students no matter what. If I go too fast, please just let me know, because I do sometimes kind of talk kind of fast.
You're doing great. Right on
Okay,
target.
thank you. It's important to understand what inclusivity in libraries mean. Is inclusion, and it's not the same as access. There's a difference between access and belonging. Access just means you have access to material, or you have access to the library, which is open to you as a public library or a university library. It's open to our students, our faculty, community. So that's access. And then the materials that are in there have, that's access. But belonging is a feeling. It has to do with a feeling. It's more so of your feeling. And it's important, for cultural humility. And we'll talk a little bit more about cultural and humility later. But we provide exclusive space, services, space, programs for all peoples, all background, and we don't, in other words, we don't discriminate. We don't identify. We're respectful. We should be, because if you can, you don't have to agree with what's being said or done, but you would like the same respect when you're doing something. So you have to respect each other. And librarians, we learn this and we implement this. And again, like I say, sense of belonging is a feeling of being accepted. Everybody, no matter what, sometimes we say it don't matter, but it does matter. We want to feel like we belong somewhere. Because like even on our jobs as librarians, when you're there, you want to feel that you're needed, that your students need you. Not only do your students need you, you want to feel that your coworkers need you. And so that's why, collaboration is important, and working with your community is important as well. Because like your community provide different scholarships, and there's another like they right now today they at the university for students. We do like back to school bashes for our K-12. The community does, but we never think about our college students a lot of time. So the university, the library actually does a back to school bash for the students, and they get backpacks and paper, pencils, highlighters, a lot of the things that they need for their school year. Because like you have different students, you have to realize that they come from different backgrounds, and you never know what the student need. And that's what we're talking about, making sure we include everybody and try to meet all needs of all students and not just some students. The library is a third space. And I chose that as like as a third space because like you got your campus, kids come from home. It doesn't matter if they're elementary or they secondary. They come from home to campus, from campus to library, your third space. That's your third home, home away from home. Because we have neutral safe spaces. Library is open to everyone. It doesn't matter what age, what their gender is, what their background is, what their belief is. There are no expectations. Nobody's trying to sell you anything. You're just there. You come there. You come there to learn. You come there to connect. You come there to meet friends. And even sometimes you come there to meet teachers. Sometimes you have your teachers come over, your faculty come over, and you get an opportunity to sit one-on-one with your teacher, where in a classroom, you may not get the opportunity because like you're talking about, maybe anywhere from 15 to 25 students or more in one classroom. And that's not only in higher ed and secondary, that's also in K-12 as well. The max that you can have in a classroom in K-12 is 28 students. And to me, that's a lot of students to try to work with. But it's important. We are flexible, and as I was saying, we're inclusive, community centered. And that's no matter what, because like the campus, there are communities of where you're at on campus, the surrounding communities. Then you have when you go branch out, you have your other communities that visit your library, whether it's public. Now, on the elementary campus, although we're a public school, the visit is kind of limited. Your parents can come, but anybody that wants to come to the library, if they call, they can come in. It's just, like go through your preliminaries where you sign in and that, but you're welcome to the library. You're welcome to come to the library, see what we do have. So we hadn't had any book challenges since I've been there, and that's a good thing. These are examples of, I live in like a teen lounge where, students hang out. At the university, we have like collaborative rooms where you have virtual conferencing equipment where students can come in and they could come in and work together and they could collaborate together. And we saw, like looking at students, a lot of time they would come in and how they would pull tables together and so they could work together. And so we looked at, actually we have some mobile ones where they can check out and take that a virtual board conferencing equipment and move it to wherever they need to, gather around. And so when I talk about flexible, you talk about space where you can move things around and it's allowed. And then we have maker spaces. A lot of the elementary school have maker spaces. A lot of the universities are having maker spaces, different maker spaces, like 3D printers. Where I come from, they have a music studio. And the ideal of the music studio was that you have your music students that are music major, and usually at a certain hour, it wouldn't be available because school, everybody gone home and the building's locked down. So the library did a music space, and and it's also like a graphic design space where students will have access to that equipment or what they were using over there after hours, because the library didn't close at 11 p.m. And we collaborated with the music department and art department for like software and equipment that they was using that students would need. That way, it wasn't just a decision where we say, well, we're just going to do music makerspace art graphic design space. We actually collaborate, and that's a key part when we're working with our students and with our faculty, because our students are not our only patrons. The entire campus, and that includes faculty, staff, whoever, are part of our campus, and we have to make sure all of they feel belong, a sense of belonging as well. I have at the elementary, I have a staff member who comes to the library often because she likes to read, and she comes and she check out books. Then we have teachers who come at the first beginning of the year and throughout the year who get books, check out books that they want to use for their classroom for different lessons and things. So so you have to provide a welcoming space. You got to remember we support the social and emotional aspects of students and everybody that we deal with. We serve librarians often serve as trusted adults. All the time you get conversation, you be like, okay, I didn't expect that, but you have students that will confide in you about different things or if they need help. And I even have, adults that may come and confide or ask questions because they trust you as a person. And so that comes from building relationships, actually, and getting to know your community and getting to know your students. We support families and caregivers. We do career and life skills, lifelong learning, and creativity. Like depending on what type of, like our public library, it was built about maybe 5 years ago. Uh, I took my students to a field trip. And I had been to the library, but I never really went to the kids section where they have Legos and they got uh, Legos and they got puzzles and they got little activities where they can build robots and make robots run. They have gaming station. They have cooking classes that students can participate in. So, uh, so there's a lot of things that library do to give you a sense of belonging. We go beyond academic space. We're human-centered because that's who we help. We uplift communities by meeting people where they are and offering tools for growth, healing, and connection. So it doesn't matter your background, as I said earlier, but now these are some barriers to belonging. Physical barriers, layout sometimes, signage sometimes can be confusing. And the layout depend on the individual and if they're, if they may, have a disability in a wheelchair or something else. Then policies a lot of time become barriers because like we have access rules, we have hours, and then we have restrictions for IDs and different things. And you have to be in that particular certain percentage to be able to use the library. So those things can become barriers to providing a sense of belonging. But we have these are some things that we can do for our staff, for everybody to empower our library staff, training, trauma information services, because you never know what you may get from, because like in the elementary school, I had a student, and I never expected, them to share with me something, personal. They say, Miss Martin, I'm in a foster care. And they had, he had been there about 5 or 6 months. And, he said it was a different experience, but he just wanted to talk to somebody about being in foster care. And so I was a listening ear for him. And to this day, after like about 6 months or so, he was able to go back home, him and his brother. And he came and he told me, Miss Mark, we back home now. We with our grandmother actually. And you could see a difference because like he would come to class all the time and he would sleep. When he came to activity, he would be asleep. And I would always wake him up. And so then after that, he told me about his experience, what was going on. And so he would be tired because he had to be up late. He'd be up late because he said he just couldn't sleep. And he was saying because, foster care, there wasn't nothing going on. It was just the idea he wasn't comfortable because he missed being at home. And so when he did get out of foster care, he came back and I could see the difference. He continued to go to school there and I could see the difference over the years. And just last in May, he graduated going to the 7th grade. And I could see the difference in his behavior with his sleep pattern had changed and everything. So that's what I'm saying. So you never know what you may be able to do. And another thing, recruit diverse staff. I know a lot of time we tend to recruit staff that resemble us only, but recruit diverse staff. You never know what that person may have to offer and how that may help a student that come in and make them feel like they actually belong and that you actually care. Empower your staff to be a change agent. Get to know your students. And this is where I come in like a conversation starter. These are links to different things like where you conversation starter. I'm gonna click on the elementary. I think I can go back. It may open. There you go. Conversation starter. So because what you want to do, like in the elementary school, you never think about it. Even at the university, you have thousands of students. All of them may not come in the library, but the ones that do come in, get to know them. At the library, at elementary, this year we had 413 students, K-6. So in a week's time, I saw 436 students. And I made it my personal business to make sure I learned every student name and call them by their name. So they would feel comfortable and they would find it would be a safe environment and they would feel comfortable with that. And the other one is the same thing as like a conversation starter for middle school. And then the other one is a classroom bingo where you get to know your students. Yeah, it didn't come up. There you go. It goes through all that to get to it. But there's an activity that you do with your students. How long have you been doing this? You just ask them questions, try to get to know them. And this is the actual bingo board. And you allow them to play, you play bingo with them. And they find different ones that have these, like have older brother, has a pet, there's a cat, love drawing. And that's another thing. I had some students, especially one of them, that every time I see her, she was always doodling or she was always drawing. So what I did, I purchased where's my trying to get it back. I purchased a sketchbook for her. And she would come back and show me different drawings that she had did over time. So, like I say, express that you care. Show me that I matter to you. And these are just some general questions that you may ask at some time or another. It went back to that. Okay, I don't need you now. So these are some questions that you can ask. And these are just a few. You can start, you can do follow-up questions where like I said, what's some of your concerns, your interests? And that's also how you can like as far as like your collection, building your collection. You can do the same thing. Get to know your students, know what they like, some of the things that they want that we may not have. And then these are some examples of some things that we can do, cultural, some programs and outreaches, Heritage Month, cultural diversity, collaborate with students, organizations. Sorry about that. Outreach to underrepresented groups. So that's, like, and we do different things, we partner with sororities and fraternities. We partner with different departments. And these are, I talked about cultural. These are some things that you can do to kind of help. Because even though you're at a university campus, these are some things you can do. Even as teachers, you can do assignments that kind of reflect around things like that. So, and there are calendars, and this is a calendar here where you can see it should open. And Demco is good about one they do where they give you something for every month starting in August. Tells you what days, even like who famous was born on this day, National Aviation Day. So you get National Radio Day. So you can look and you can see, this particular calendar is for the whole year. So you can do something throughout the year and not just even if it's just once a month playing something. But this calendar is for the whole year here that you can look at that has different activities that you can do, that you can plan. Right here, first book is a first marketplace. And it has like diverse books. It has a plethora of books on different multicultural activities and different books that's surrounding multicultural. And that's what that link actually go to. And it shows you, if you go to the first book, it gives you, it's a website. And you sign up for it and you can purchase books. And in this marketplace, they're cheap. So, but you see here the different, some of the different things that they cover. And they have some free resources and things that you can, your book topics, and you look at your topics. So it's different things that you can, if you look, it covers a plethora of, and then they have books under $3. Who don't like a bargain? Physical place. And so these are some things that you can do to redesign something that you may be able to do that may not cost quite as much. Look at the language, your signage, some of your artwork. You can simply change some of your artwork out that are multicultural themes or wordings, your quiet zones. And then make sure, whatever you do, try to make sure you ADA compliance, digital things, the art text, different things that you can do to kind of make sure that everybody is included, and including different languages. Like at the elementary school where I'm at, we have like our for lack of a better term, I just went blank. Like I was code red and active shooter. We have them in both English and Spanish. And then like when we do a book fair, we put up both Spanish and English posters about the book fair. How much time do I have? Okay. Okay, and then another thing, feedback is very important. These are some messages. And I know a lot of times we do surveys and sometimes we get surveyed out and we get tired of surveys. But it's a good thing. Focus groups. You can do that in the library. A few students. Community forums in town hall. Virtual or in person. See, everything just like we did this morning. Everything doesn't have to be face to face. And it may be easier to do the virtual, whereas community forum or town hall than it is to, do a face-to-face. Make it more participation. Or you can do interviews. It can be formal or, conversational. Use the data. A lot of us, we check out website, room book. That's information we don't even have to ask anybody for, because that's information that's automatically, depending on our integrated library systems or whatever we're using. It gathers the data for you anyway. All you have to do is create your report and pull what you need. This thing is this. I'll get this to come down. There you go. Use journey maps. Now, for that, you have to get a student permission. And that's where you kind of, if you don't mind, can you kind of carry me through what you do in the library? What are some of your favorite things that you do in the library? How do you use the library? But you can do that and you can collect that data. Here we go. And then just continue, collect insight, co-design solution. And that's why I told you it's very important to collaborate. And you can use that with your students, your faculty, your administration, all the way up to the chancellor, or vice chancellor. Review outcome. It's not enough just to collect the data. And that's what I see a lot of time, we collect the data. And as librarians, we're researchers. So we can analyze data. They taught us that in school. Organize the data, prioritize. And what you do, you look at the feedback, and I say quick win. Things that you can easily improve, that's low cost, that's not going to cost you a lot to do. You tackle those first. Then you develop an action plan for other things that you can come back, that you can work on over the year. Where I was at, we had a Title III, and so we did a grant every year. So those things, you take that action plan and you implement those things into that grant. You may not be able to do it all in 1 year, but little small part. Then make sure you communicate back your findings to your users. So, because like sometimes, they could give you feedback on some things that you could do in order to help improve their experience. Evaluate the impact. So then because then that's just where you're going back, you're looking at it. This is what we did this year. This is how this worked. This didn't work. This did work. And then we change our strategy. What worked, we use what didn't work. If we can tweak it and do something more with it, we do that. Build that feedback into your planning. Don't just get it and just have it on the computer just to have it or print it out, killing trees. Put it back into your planning, because we want to make sure we're including everyone, that nobody is alienated. These are some real life cases. Right here, when I first went to this school, we were doing STEM Thursday. And so what we did, we learned about the planets. And then they did a little activity where they named the planets and everything. And so this is how they started off. And at the end, they was excited. They said, "Ms. Martin, you got to take our picture." And so I did. We gathered them all together in front of the screen, and we took their picture for that particular assignment. And some of these students actually, and I'm like, it just amazed me how these students have grown since I've been there. This was a kindergarten class. We did a video back there on the planet, and then they colored a ship. They colored a rocket, a spaceship, and everybody was involved. They all had fun. We invite readers to come in and read to the students. And if you look right here, this student was kind of laid down when she started, but after she started, here he is. Here he sit up, and he really started paying attention. This was the mayor came, so community. This was the mayor. She came in and read to our kindergarten and first grade. This was another one of the administrators from the school district that came in and read. Here this was a community. She was another teacher. She was a retired teacher from the district, from one of the other districts. 'Cause like the school district that previous, like the school's been annexed, so it was a dollar way and it was Pine Bluff. So she was from the other side, and she came in and read to the students. Here it was a community organization that came in and read to the students. And community, we use, and this is where we work with RIF, where we work with the parent coordinator for the district. And we provided free books, two free books to the students. This we do Read Across America, and we had like a little costume contest. And here, plan a field trip to the Clinton Library. And this is the students. We went to the Clinton Library, and they loved it. And they wanted to go again. But since they had been to the Clinton Library, the next year, what I did, I planned, we went to the Cultural Museum, the Mosaic Temple Cultural Museum the next year. So these are the things that we do as a library. This is where when they got a chance to bring their Chromebook, they love working on their Chromebook. So we provide a space for them to do that. This is a partnership we did with Chick-fil-A. They came out and they gave students free books, and they used the high school students to come in and give the students books, and they actually read to the students as well. So these are community events, but this is a library, and these are activities that we're doing in the library to, make sure everybody get a sense of belonging, has a sense of belonging. And this is a coworker from the university. So, this is what I said. There's a diverse community that we collaborate with that come in and read to the students for us, that we invite to come in and read to the students. Here, I actually allow the students to read to the class. So there's days that in each student, and where I do, it doesn't matter how well you read or if you can't read. I will allow you to read if you ask, and I'm going to sit there and help you because you want to. So for Christmas last year, 2024, what we did a lesson on the origin of gingerbread house. So once we got with the lesson, we built gingerbread houses. Of course, they ate them once they finished. I told them I wouldn't eat them, but they did. So we had two teams, and it was kind of like, because they're competitive. And so this team over here started, this team over here, and this is one team result, and this is them building here. So there's a lot of things, and because I'm elementary, I collaborate with the teachers to do those field trips that we have. So all the teachers work with me, and I help them with different field trips. So I want everybody to feel like they're included, and I want them to see what other libraries has to offer and doing besides for just what the elementary school have. And so right here, your plan of action. What's one change you can start tomorrow? Yes? Sorry, somebody knocking on my door. Sorry.
That's how we can tell you work at an elementary school.
I'm actually in the hotel today and somebody knocking. All right, hey, don't open the door. Still in here. Don't need no service. Sorry. So, if you can, what's one change? You can put it in the chat, or that you can start, that you may start tomorrow. Let's see. Uh, I like the Zen, the Rhine. Yeah, I got it.
I love using students' names, letting them know
Yeah,
that we know who they are and recognize them, and it
right.
makes a huge difference.
It
Just using their
does.
name.
Yes, it does. Because just think about it. When somebody uses your name, it makes it different for you. Because sometimes you can be in a bad mood. I had a bad day, and they actually call you by your name. It changes your whole perspective and how you communicate with them because they have taken the time to remember you and know who you are. It goes a long way. It really do. Oh, theater camp. Okay. You're welcome. And so and then so those are some resources. Those are some of my reference. And now if you have any questions, that's where I'm at now. I hope I did okay and didn't go too fast.
It was really wonderful. Lots of information. Thank you so much, Lavoris.
Hmm.
Um, and thank you all for your comments. If anybody, has anything further to say, we'll maybe give it a minute and then we'll take a break before our 11 o'clock session. So does anybody have any final thoughts or questions for Lavoris? Lots of appreciation for you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you all.